Starting tomorrow, St. Patrick's Day celebrations will begin around the valley. Soon bars will be full of Irish step dancing, corned beef sandwiches, and of course, green beer. But if you're going to partake in these festivities this year, make sure you have a designated driver or a plan. Ohio ranks among the top 10 when it comes to drunk driving. Here to talk about the dangers of drunk driving is Ohio State Highway Patrol Lieutenant Ben Dennison. Ben, thank you so much for being here.
You're very welcome.
Yeah, as we mentioned, Ohio ranks up among the top 10 when it comes to drunk driving related incidents. What do you think is behind our numbers being so high compared to other states?
You know, we're population-wise, we're the top 7 in the nation. So I think it's just we have a lot of people, so we're going to be the top, right? So I just think population plays a role, and that's probably the main thing.
What would be your top advice? We've got people going to events and maybe they want to make sure they make the rounds to see their friends and support them, but you got to be careful.
Yeah, it's just have a plan ahead of time. Don't go into it and, you know, have a snap judgment of anything. Just have it prepared, either a ride share or a friend or a family member to pick you up, just so you can enjoy yourself and get around safely at the same time.
Yeah, some people might say, well, how much is too much? What would be your advice when you're gauging how much you're consuming?
That's tough because, you know, it's, you know, the billboards say buzz driving is drunk driving. Right. So if you feel impaired, you're impaired. There's no 2 beers or 3 beers. It's how do you feel at that time? So it's really knowing yourself and knowing that, you know, what the consequences are if you're caught drunk driving is really important to look out for yourself for. So.
And you and I were talking about the consequences. If you do get caught doing this, there is a financial burden too. Talk about what this will cost someone. If they get pulled over, they're caught drinking and driving, they're in a world of danger and also in trouble. Right.
So you have not only the court fines, but you also have the insurance rates that go up. You have a tow fee if your vehicle's towed. It can be impounded if you have multiple OVI violations. There's just several things that come into play, and you know, billboards used to say years ago OVI costs about $10,000, and I believe that could be correct.
When you look at the rate of drunk driving incidents in our region and the deadly consequences that come with it, stress and explain maybe, you know, some of the things that you've run into, what you hope people understand when you're at those scenes, you see this firsthand.
Right. So it's really just know yourself, and you know, if you do plan on having 1 or 2 drinks, just plan ahead and call for a ride. It's, you know, in most cases when we arrest someone, we bring them back to the post, offer them a chemical test. Whether they take or deny that test, they end up going to calling a friend afterwards or a family member. You know, they could get rid of all that middleman stuff and just call a friend right off the rip and have a ride set up and do the responsible thing.
And how dangerous can it be? Describe the incidents that you see in terms of accidents and crashes.
You know, it's really life or death. I mean, we just had that serious crash over on 170 where the gentleman went left to center. It's just, again, it's, as we had talked about earlier, something that's preventable, you know, just by taking the necessary steps and having a plan ahead of time. And so your family knows you're safe, and knowing that everybody else is safe on the roadway. Absolutely.
And with marijuana also legalized, is that something you're also juggling at the same time?
Yeah, we look for the broad spectrum of drugs and narcotics. You know, the heroin, the opiate problem is still a problem. Methamphetamines, if they're driving impaired under any of those narcotics, they can be arrested for OVI, and there's standardized field sobriety tests for those tests.
All right, really appreciate you joining us right here at 5 to remind everybody you can enjoy St. Patrick's Day, but have a plan and do it safely.
That's right. Thank you.